Action continues in our quadruple header Saturday with our second playoff game of the day incoming. Another day at the office for some players and for others, an opportunity of a lifetime to showcase what they can do. And we are live at the Divine Light Academy in Las Piñas City, and this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. And again, 3 more games incoming, but this time it's going to be Game 3 of the best of 3 quarter-finals North Division matchup between the one and only Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants and the very fast and long Rizal Switch Fiber. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cholo Pangilinan, covering the action with professional basketball player Kyle Sanchez. And Kyle, Game 1 belonged to QC, Game 2 belonged to Rizal, and Game 3 we shall know in a while.
That's right. Both games have been decided by less than 10 points each. So I'm expecting another close game to end this series between these two teams.
And first, let's talk about Game 2 again. Just like what I mentioned, Rizal Switch Fiber escaping with a close game, just like what you said. 73-62, just less than 10-point gap for them.
Oh, that's right. They were led by Rimo Ismael, who had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Rizal pretty much had an overall better performance all across the board contra dito sa Quezon City to get that Game 2 win and force this deciding Game 3.
And definitely, it's going to be one heck of a matchup considering for Rizal, they have the likes of Jovel Baligling playing for them, of course, playing in the NCAA for the Letran Knights. Matthew Hucom, Edson Serrano playing as well for the College of St. Benil Blazers, also in the NCAA. So we better expect, and we can definitely expect some tight contests in this matchup. But for now, that's going to be it. We'll be turning it over to our venue announcer, Denzel Santiago, for the start of our ball game.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Divine Light Academy here in Las Piñas City as we bring you the playoffs of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. It's the second game of today's division quarterfinals featuring the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants versus the Rizal Switch Fiber. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now, let us meet the starters, beginning with the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. Guard number 18, Juans Muyuela. Also guard number 16, Dylan Despi. At forward, number 15, Matthew Hucom. Also forward, number 26, Sir Haden Datsumalim. Playing center, number 99, Edson Serrano. Head coach, Kim Cinco, assisted by Mike Calomot. Team manager, Wandy Muyuela. Team owner, Vice Gian Soto and Sir Arjo Atsaide. And now, let us meet the starters from your Rizal Switch Fiber. Guard number 11, Marvin Felix. Also guard number 9, Juan Romero. At forward number 1, Robert Regidor. Also forward number 27, Kyle Sabelina. Playing center number 13, Nathaniel Caldid. Head coach Ruel Benaventura. Assisted by Kelvin Gregorio. Elmer Balahaja, team manager Ariel Balahaja, team owner Glenn Andre. Our games officials for today's match, crew chief Nino Barcenas, umpire 1 Carlos Sebastian, umpire 2 Noy Guevara, Junior MPBL D-League Executive Director Mr. J.R. Navarro, Junior MPBL D-League Commissioner Mr. Kid Picasso. Once again, this is the playoffs of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
And our door-eyed ball ng Pinoy team starters. For Rizal, it's Felix Romero, Regidor, Sabelina, and Caldit. And for Quezon City, it's Muyuela, Despi, Hucom, Datumalim, and Serrano. And again, this is Game 3 of a best of 3 quarter-finals series in the North Division. So a do-or-die game. And a quick recap, Rizal escaping with that Game 2 win. And QC escaping with that Game 1 win. So that's why we're here in our game number 3. And I've mentioned some NCAA players played for both of these teams. Speaking of, Matthew Hukom is one of them, scoring the first blood of this game with a three-point bomb.
You can really tell who has a lot of experience in the collegiate level with the way they carry themselves. And Matthew Hukom starting things off right for his squad. And they did win that first game contra dito sa Rizal, who were able to bounce back in game 2. So it's all or nothing for both of these teams in this rubber match.
And I've mentioned players, let's talk coaches. Of course, Kim Cinco is the listed head coach of the Alpha Giants, but I believe the one that's making the shots, or calling the shots rather, is Coach Franco Atienza, the head coach of the Converge Fiber Xers. And on the other side, of course, Coach Ruel Buenaventura, another well-known PBA player back in the day. As that time, Hukom missing the shot, but they get it back. Dylan Despi for 3. Not that time. Redor with the rebound. In transition, Felix Romero, Sabelhina unable to finish. But Romero keeps it alive.
Sorry miss there by Sabelhina. Luckily for them, Rizal able to get that offensive rebound.
Surprisingly, no Jovel Baliling in the starting lineup for the Rizal Switch Fiber. Let's see what they have in mind. Hukom behind the back pass, at least attempted to do that. And this time it's Caldit and company in transition again. Regidor burning some rubber, puts one up, that's no good. This time it's Hukom and company. Outside pass, Muyuela for 3. That won't connect.
After that initial three-pointer by Hukom, it's been helter-skelter basketball from both of these teams. The result still unable to buy a basket here, and already 2 minutes has transpired in the first quarter.
Felix outside dish, Sabelhina for 3. Not that time. Rebound by Despi. Again, it is a do-or-die game. Every shot counts. Serrano outside dish. Great passing. Hukom for 3. In and out on the shot.
After that initial three-pointer by Hukom, both teams still unable to buy a basket.
Felix inside pass. Sabelhina having a hard time against Datumanim. Sends it out. Right corner 3. Regidor gets blocked. Try to get it back. But last touch on him, possession will go to the Alpha Giants. So here comes Muyuela and company trying to set up offense. Serrano at the middle. Outside dish, Hukom. To the other side, they try from deep again. Kaboom!
So that's two three-pointers early in this game for Quezon City. And Rizal has to do a better job of closing out on the shooters of the Quezon City Giants.
6-0 start for Quezon City. And so far, no points on board yet for the Rizal Switch Fiber. And during that elimination period, both teams finishing with the same record, 3, or rather, that's 3 and 4 and 4 and 3, not the same record, but a 1-game difference. So meanwhile, that's gonna be a miss in transition. Helter-skelter basketball indeed, just like what you said. And this time it'll be on the side of QC. Despi, Datumanim, great finish. And with that, it's an 8-0 run and a start for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants, as Datumanim finishing in transition. Great start. Coach Franco must be happy, and that is the reason why Coach Ruel calls a nature spring timeout. We'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Sa Junior Giants or para dito sa Alpha Giants, well, sabi nga sa kanya, assistant coach Michael Lomat, in the previous game, they failed to secure the final 3 minutes, and with that, no, parang kinapos daw talaga sila, and that tendency of na parang may complacency para sa kanilang koponan. He also mentioned that right after New Year, mas naging consistent daw sila in terms of training, and with that, right now, they are putting up a better and a stronger start with that 8-0 run. Pero sabi niya sa akin, isa sa mga factors din, yung mga youngsters nila, such as Muyela and Atienza, providing a lot of spark, and yung pagiging bata nila inside the court, mas nagiging mature naman sila in terms of decision making. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for sharing those information. And indeed, I do agree, the likes of Atienza, of course, son of Coach Franco, that is Aza Atienza, and Rance Moyuela, former LSGH Greenie, was teammates with Seven Gagate and Luis Pablo. So definitely, you know, those young guys showing some grit and a little bit of youth at the basketball court.
That's right. Really a good lineup, a deep lineup here for the 8-8 Alpha Giants. And I like that they've had more practices ever since the start of this new year, taking seriously this playoff push that they're trying to make, well, as we head towards the end of the season. And really putting themselves in good position here to start off this ball game contra dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber.
And just to remind everybody, one team rather will go home this afternoon. But this time, Serrano finds the cutting Despi, basket and one, body to body. Dylan Despi showing some muscles. Take another look at this pound for pound fitness foul. Counted the move again. Dylan Despi finding a way inside, carving his way to the cup.
And some substitutions now for both of these teams, especially for Rizal, trying to find that winning combination on the floor. They're still scoreless. Nakatayo pa rin yung bench nila already at the halfway mark of this first quarter. And they have some catching up to do here. And you don't want to dig yourself into too big of a hole early on. Of course, mas nakakapagod talaga maghabol.
Meanwhile, that is the reason why perhaps Coach Roel has inserted Rimo Ismael, JB Discotido, and Jovel Baliling in this lineup.
Rimo Ismael was the catalyst for their victory in Game 2, had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. So we'll see if he can try to replicate those numbers, and he'll have to get some help from his other teammates as well.
Meanwhile, 13-0 start now for QC as Aza Atienza replacing Dylan Despi. Meanwhile, Jovel Baliling, again, just like what I mentioned, plays for the Letran Knights in the NCAA. Meanwhile, Dan from the right side puts one up. Still no field goal, but perhaps the free throw line will be a good start for them.
This is one way to put points up on the board, especially if you're not able to convert on your field goals. You have to try to find a way to get to the free throw line. Good job by Tan there, fishing for that foul. And you're right, this might finally put some points on the board for the Rizal Switch Fiber, and he does.
And Kenji Tan averaged close to 8 points and 8 rebounds per game during that elimination period. Certainly one of the more reliable forwards for the Switch Fiber squad.
Has all the physical tools to be a good player in this league. Tall, long, and lanky, and has decent athleticism as well.
Meanwhile, that's Carl Flores, finally the first field goal of Rizal. A short stab, but they're trailing by 10. And meanwhile, a Hukom sloppy pass. I believe that was intended for Edson Serrano, but that went out of bounds.
And as was reported earlier by Daphne, yun nga yung isa sa mga bagay na kailangan iwasan nitong Quezon City. They don't want to be complacent even though they are up by 10 right now. You don't want to give an opening dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber. They are a very dangerous team, especially if they get that momentum on their side. So for Quezon City, they have to execute well and not be complacent.
Meanwhile, Atienza drops it to Serrano, outside dish. They attack, De Leon sends it out again. Hukom for 3, not that time. This time Discotido, no one was there to pick him up at the fast break.
Just like that, the lead is back down to 8 points. The transition defense of Quezon City absent in that previous possession. Good job by Rizal recognizing a streaking teammate for that wide open layup.
Another steal right here, courtesy of Remo Ismael.
Ang masakit doon kay De Leon, no? Siya na yung naagawan ng bola, and he was also called for that foul. Quezon City already with 3 team fouls to their name.
8-point lead now for the Quezon City Alpha Giants. Meanwhile, Ismael Remo showing some muscles inside, basket and one. And that's what Ismael Remo can do.
And in a short span of time, no, they've erased that double-digit deficit with that foul, pound-for-pound foul counted play of this first quarter by Remo, cutting this lead down to 6 or possibly even 5 if he converts this bonus free throw.
And he won't. But nevertheless, you gotta credit Remo for eyeing that young Aza Atienza. 2.5 minutes remaining in Chapter 1. 6-point gap still in favor of Quezon City, but Rizal fighting and keeping themselves alive. This time it's 30 Goles scoring.
A good mid-range jumper there by Goles, and also pamatay sunog din yun, no?
This time starting to get hot and warm is Ismael Remo. He was also asking for a foul, but again, it's not Christmas anymore. It's back to a 6-point game. 30 Goles finds Pineda. Had a great game last outing as well. Meanwhile, De Leon, a couple of crazy moves, will draw a foul, and 2 freebies coming up for the little guy.
And that was a good spin to evade the initial defender. And Remo was just a second late on that rotation, had no choice but to give up that foul.
So Joshua De Leon at the line. So far only has 1 board, will miss that freebie. Averaged close to 6 points and 2 rebounds, also 2 dimes during that elimination period. And he'll go 1 out of 2. 7-point lead for QC, under 2 minutes remaining in Chapter 1. Kenji Tan brings the basketball down. Discutido has it. The pick from Tan. Flores has it outside. Carl Flores asking for another pick. That came from Tan. Inside pass, Remo. Great backdoor cut for the big guy.
Recognizing that his defender was overplaying him. Great recognition as well by Tan. Seeing that Ismael was cutting down at the baseline. Good teamwork there by Rizal.
Joshua De Leon turning the ball over again. Not the best game so far for him, but this time we take another look at that replay. Ismael Remo, no stranger to those kind of plays. Under a minute remaining, as Rizal only trailing now by 5. Foul will be called against QC. So that's freebies again. This time it's Kenji Tan going to the line.
Tan was the first player to score for his team in this ball game. Once again, putting himself at the free throw line.
But the lefty forward will miss that first freebie. Second one on its way for Kenji Tan. And he'll go 1 out of 2. Makes it a 4-point deficit. Definitely more than manageable if you're Rizal. De Leon trying to not waste any time, finds Goles outside. Goles going to work. Goles puts one up, carves his way to the rim. Baliling has it. Jovel Baliling attacks, drops it, great find. Carl Flores just unable to finish. They'll get it back though. Kenji Tan cleans up his teammates' mess.
And even though Rizal was down double digits to start this game, they've done a good job crawling, fighting their way back, and almost getting the lead from Quezon City as we end this first quarter.
And Martin Pineda ends our first period in great fashion with a 3-point bomb to give his team a 7-point lead. 21-14. And what a quarter it has been again. Great start for QC. They had a 13-0 start. Rizal able to answer back, but QC staying composed, maintaining quite a big margin, at least for our first period. And that's it for now. We'll be back for more action. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. We return to the action here at the Divine Light Academy in Las Piñas City. For the start of our second period again, this is Game 3, a do-or-die match in the Northern Division quarterfinals. 7-point lead for QC at the end of the first. And so far, leading the charge for them is Dylan Despi with 6 points. Goles in Datumalim following him with 4 points each. Meanwhile, 3-point shot is good, courtesy of Joshua De Leon. And just like that, QC getting a double-digit lead again. Meanwhile, Lim going to work. Great couple of moves for him. And that's JB Lim, again, another collegiate player, but this time outside of the NCAA and UAAP, playing for St. Clair Saints.
Oh yes, oh, no wonder that was a familiar set of moves. JB Lim, one of the better point guards, won Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, for his home mother league, rather. Former UST Tiger Cub, now a St. Clair Saint. Really a talented point guard, JB Lim. It might be a magic bonus here para sa Rizal Switch Fiber as they try and crawl their way back once again from a double-digit deficit against the 8-8 Alpha Giants.
First one is good for JB Lim. And 2 out of 2 for the former Tiger Cub, just like you said. Perhaps his favorite color is yellow. But this time it's gonna be an 8-point lead for Quezon City. It's back to single digits. Datumalim to the right corner. Soto, not that time. In transition, Baraka has it. Trying to attack Serrano, but clearly bothered by Serrano that time. Lim sends it inside, intercepted. They keep it alive. Antonio sends it out. Discotido, nowhere to go. Discotido, the pull-up from the elbow. That's no good. And Tan tried to get it back, but that's out of bounds. Hit his foot. QC will get possession.
Once again, this is the third game for this series, a win or go home for both of these teams. Have to leave it all out there on the floor, and you can't afford to make any mistakes here in this game.
Hukom for 3. Won't fall. Rebound by Lim. Forward pass to Baraka. Smart pass inside. Discotido unable to handle the basketball. And this time the big guy Serrano sends it out. Soto thought about the shot. Will lose it. Ball on the floor. Discotido. Nowhere to go. Lim. This time it's Tan against the much smaller Rans Muyuela, and he scores.
But that was a missed opportunity for Quezon City. They had the numbers in transition. Soto just losing that ball and unable to get back in transition.
Muyuela to Serrano at the post. Edson Serrano to Hukom. The fadeaway, in and out. Basket and one for Edson Serrano.
With one hand, no less, being held onto by his defender. Serrano able to find a way to put that ball back for that pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play. One-handed put back there by the big guy.
Indeed, 99 problems, but I'm sure being big and being strong inside the paint isn't one of those problems for him. A chance to extend the lead and make it 9 points And he tried it off the board. But that won't work for him. That was too strong. It's almost 3 minutes passing by in Chapter 2. But for now, we'll be turning it over to Daphne Cristobal for a report.
The team's bonding could be today's key in winning para sa Rizal Switch Fibers. Well, according to Remo, since the first time they played, the chemistry was instantly present. With a long holiday break, he kept on track of his workout routine. Also, sabi niya sa akin, he is a late bloomer in this sport dahil nga soccer daw talaga yung first love niya, which luckily, it helped him in terms of footwork, vertical, and speed. In this match, expect sacrifice coming from him and for the rest of the Switch Fibers. Cho and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that beautiful story. Again, we're no stranger to those kinds of stories where a player didn't really play basketball at the start, but really became good at it when he did.
And it's good, no, that even though some of their players do come from different schools, different programs, they immediately felt that chemistry once they started practicing and playing together. And in a short league such as this, no, you don't have a lot of time to prepare, so you really have to build that chemistry right away. And in the case of Rizal, it's been working well for them so far.
And we'll talk about it more after this timeout called by Coach Franco Atienza as they're up by 6 points, 26-20. And we'll be back for more action. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. And again, 6-point lead for QC. Edson Serrano getting called for a technical foul due to unsportsmanlike behavior. So that'll mean JB Lim will be shooting a freebie. First one goes in for Lim, or rather the only one goes in for him. And for the Alpha Giants.
We briefly saw on our screens Coach Kelvin Gregorio, former UE Red Warrior, and also a former professional player himself. And those mistakes, no, by Serrano, yung mga technical foul like that, you'd think, no, that they might not make that big of an impact. But in a close game like this, and in an important game like this, no, those little things can make a huge impact, especially towards the end game.
Meanwhile, almost is not enough for Matthew Hukom. At this time, there's going to be a call. It's against the Switch Fiber. Another look at this Matthew Hukom attack. Tried to do that dipsy-do move. But that was just not enough for him to make the basket. So with that, it's going to be another chance for QC to make something happen on offense. Dylan Despi will trigger the inbound. Finds Serrano, at least tried to find him. And that's stolen by JB Lim. In transition, great pickup move from the youngster. And on the other side, able to answer back quickly are the Alpha Giants. But this time, the pace of this game slowly increasing as Baraka finds Ismael Rimo. Jump shot is pure.
Rimo, one of the more consistent players for the Rizal Switch Fiber. Will really have to do a lot more of those if they want to get this lead back.
And the Blazer connection right there coming from Hukom and Serrano. Basket and one for the big guy, as he is literally the embodiment of an Alpha Giant. Pound for pound fitness foul counted move for Mr. Serrano.
Ismael got caught on that screen, and JB Lim had no choice but to rotate on Serrano, who was just too big for him. He was forced to give up.
Off the window, freebie is good for Serrano. Also got an end one a while ago, but he missed that prior free throw. Just like that, it's now a 6-point lead again. JB Lim, crossover move, nowhere to go. Finds Antonio. And they'll settle for a jumper, but that won't work for him. Rebound is captured by Hukom. Serrano trying to catch it. They wrestle for the basketball. Carl Flores wins the battle. And this time it's JB Lim finding an opening inside in transition. Hukom at the right side. Inside, the fadeaway by De Leon. So that's another De Leon for QC contributing for them.
Every time Rizal tries to go on a run, Quezon City has been able to find an answer. This time De Leon hitting a tough fadeaway right in front of the defense.
Meanwhile, this time it's Rizal Switch Fiber scoring off that assist. JB Lim finding an open Antonio for that pound for pound fitness foul counted move.
And credit JB Lim for that basket as well, drawing the defense, and at the very last second giving that ball up to Antonio, who had to do nothing but lay that ball up. Luckily he was fouled as well, and he converts on that free throw.
So it's back to a 3-point lead for QC. Both teams just going back and forth with end one plays. Jovel Baliling entering back for Rizal. Let's see if how can he contribute. Meanwhile, Despi losing it. JB Lim, great defense. And he is running, he's not wasting any time. He burns some rubber, finds Antonio.
Antonio, once again, the recipient of a beautiful JB Lim pass. This time unable to hit that basket, but he will go back to the line.
Freebies coming up for Antonio. And so far, he has 3 points and 2 rebounds. And for JB Lim, he has a rebound and 2 dimes. So the youngster giving contributions to his squad. But leading the charge for them is no other than Ismael Rimo with 10 points and 2 boards. 2 out of 2 for Antonio, make it just a 1-point deficit, but still in favor of QC. Serrano hands it off. Despi almost lost it. He'll fire for 3. Not that time. They fight for the rebound, but it ends up with Jovel Baliling. JB Lim, inside find, Antonio, picked up by Serrano. Outside again, Baliling will fire a 3. Not that time. Both teams, no more fouls to give. Muyuela to the right corner, Hukom step back 3. Still not falling for him, but they get it back. 10 to shoot, Despi the spin move. Not that time as well. And finally, Jashly De Leon finds the bottom of the hoop for that putback.
A similar basket from his earlier fadeaway, De Leon turning garbage into gold, and that was a beautiful spin move earlier by Despi evading the defense. Fortunately, there was a De Leon for that offensive putback.
Great defense coming from the Alpha Giants. Jashly De Leon getting fouled by JB Lim in transition.
That was a good foul by Lim, stopping that layup by De Leon, forcing him to take 2 free throws.
Under 3 minutes remaining in our first half. And so far, Joshly De Leon has 4 points, a chance to make it 6. But he'll miss the first one, only a chance to make it 5. Nevertheless, only played less than 3 minutes in this game, already contributing 4 points.
Turns out being a really good foul for JB Lim as De Leon misses both free throws.
The attack by Flores. Tried to drop it to Rimo, but that was clearly read by Detumalim. Meanwhile, Serrano at the post. Corner pass. Great passing coming from the Alpha Giants, ending up with another Joshly De Leon bucket.
De Leon is making a living from the mid-range here in this ballgame. Already his 3rd conversion here in the 2nd quarter.
But Liling gets fouled on the act of shooting from distance. So that's going to be 3 freebies for Jovel. Perhaps a good way for him to knock down shots to get his rhythm going and finally knock down a 3-point bomb.
Oh, that's right. His 3-point attempt earlier was short to the left and this time overshooting the mark. But luckily for him, he will have 3 looks at the free throw line.
First one is good. Again, great way to get his confidence going. More importantly, great way to cut the lead. And second one on its way. Make it 2 for 2. And one last. Again, Jovel Baliling played his rookie year with the Letran Knights of the NCAA. And he'll go 3 out of 3. More importantly, cuts the lead of Quezon City to just 3 as well, or maybe just 2, I'm sorry. 37-35, still a close game right here. Still anybody's ball game. We'll be back after this nature spring timeout.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga tuluyan nating matalo.
We return to the action here in the Divine Light Academy in Las Piñas City. Again, this is Game 3, do-or-die match between Rizal and QC. And so far, only a 2-point lead now for the Alpha Giants. So far, they're getting outscored by Rizal in this period, 21-16.
And this was exactly what Daphne was talking about earlier in her report, no? That complacency that QC has been trying to avoid. And they had a double-digit lead for majority of this first half, but now they're only leading by 4 as we end the 2nd quarter. And Rizal has done a good job of trying to slowly inch their way back into this ball game.
6 points now for Detumalim. Meanwhile, Flores, that was too much, but cleans up his own mess.
That's a bad job of boxing out there by Quezon City, allowing the same player to get his own miss.
Serrano trying to find Muyuela, and he does. Almost lost it though, but this time a steal by the pesky Felix, and he'll finish in transition.
And just like that, we're back to 0, 39 apiece, all tied up.
But don't let Felix fool you, he may be short, but definitely he can go toe-to-toe with the Alpha Giants. Despi has it, being closely guarded. Detumalim against Flores. Puts one up, that's good. 8 points now for Detumalim. This time, Rimo changing gears. Reverse lane, that won't work for him. Despi recovered the basketball after losing it. Under 40 seconds remaining. Serrano, body to body inside.
Great extra pass there coming from Muyuela. He could have easily taken that three-pointer himself, but he saw Serrano cutting through the basket. And that's the type of unselfishness that Quezon City has to display for the rest of this ball game.
Last 20 seconds. Carl Flores for 3. Won't connect. Felix getting the offensive board. The smallest guy on the court getting the rebound.
Only 13 seconds to work with. Last shot time now for the Rizal switch fiber.
Couple of substitutions for them. Third Goles enters the game. Same with Patino replacing Edson Serrano for the last 13 seconds of this first half. Rimo for 3. Won't connect. Foul will be called on Carl Flores.
Patino instantly making an impact, allowing Serrano to take a breather for the rest of this first half. And that was a good box out by him, no? Not looking at the ball. As soon as that shot went up, I saw him immediately look for a body to box out. And just because of that simple, fundamental play by Patino, he will be rewarded with 2 free throws and a chance to extend his lead before the end of this second quarter.
First time seeing action is this guy, Patino. His first freebie goes in for him.
That was a high looper of a shot. I thought that was not going to hit the mark, but luckily he gets that friendly bounce once again. That rim has been friendly here in the Divine Light Academy for most of our players here today.
6 seconds to go. Felix puts one up. That's no good. Natumalim gets it. And that'll be it for our first half, 44-39 in favor of the Quezon City 8-8 Junior Giants, or rather Alpha Giants, I'm sorry. And despite getting outscored 25-22 this period, they're still handling that lead again. A 5-point lead for them, and we'll see more action after this halftime break. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
Embrace the struggle. Believe in your hustle. Special thanks to Tropang Villar for hosting today's games. And to and GX International. Maraming salamat.
And at the half, it's 44-39 again, a 5-point lead being handled by the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. Again, even though they got outscored in the second period 25-23, they did outscore Rizal in that first period 21-14 again, giving them only a 5-point lead again. It's not really big, it's still anybody's ball game. So if your Rizal switch fiber, it's not the end of the world, nothing to panic about. Definitely you have the tools to get this do or die win.
And we have our halftime stats here, 44-39 in favor of the 8-8 Alpha Giants, shooting very well from the field, 56% for Quezon City compared to Rizal's 40%. Rizal still unable to convert from 3-point country, 0 out of 8, while Quezon City has converted 4 out of 13 attempts. Rebounding department also in favor of Quezon City, 21-19. In the assist department, Quezon City doing a good job of moving that ball around with 10 assists compared to Rizal's 7. And also from the turnover department, dun na lumalamang itong Rizal. No? They only have 7 turnovers here at the half, while Quezon City has already given that ball 10 times.
And there you have it again. Quezon City with a little bit of insurance and breathing room to enter our third period. So far, leading the charge for them is Edson Serrano, the big guy, muscling his way inside with 9 points. The Tumalim has 8 with those mid-range jumpers. Despi has 6. And on the other side, the first player to score in double Rimo with 10 points, to be followed by JB Lim, the youngster, with 7 points. And the reliable forward of Rizal, Kenji Tan, with 6 points as well. And we're just waiting for the start of our third period. It looks like it's going to be a Hukom Serrano 1-2 punch. QC. Start our third period. It's going to be on the hands of QC. Serrano backing down Flores. Despi up top. Resetting the offense. Datumanin provides the pick. Despi crossover move. Despi almost lost it. Kahukom for 3. Rather, that's only Hukom, I'm sorry. Kahukom is his teammate in CSB. Meanwhile, Baraka able to find an opening at the fast break.
Taking it coast to coast. Good initial defense there from Rizal, not allowing Quezon City to get a good look. And on the other end, yung depensa naman ng Quezon City ang challenge doon ng Rizal.
Goles missing that 3-point attempt. Possession will stay with the Alpha Giants. A chance to extend it. So far, they're only leading by 3 points, as we'll take another look at this Baraka. Fast break opportunity for him. Meanwhile, Hukom, the lefty, going to work. In and out of the shot, though. This time, it's going to be Rizal. Kenji Tan for 3. Won't connect for him. Goles got the loose ball. Goles, the pull-up. No good for him as well.
Might not have been the best shot. Already pushing that ball up the floor very well was Goles, but could have set his teammates up for a better look.
So both teams settling for jump shots, except this time where Edson Serrano takes it to the rim. So far, that's 11 points for the big guy, Edson Serrano. Meanwhile, it's a 5-point lead for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants.
Out of control that time was Baraka. Earlier he had a good, he made a good showing of himself going coast to coast for that layup, but this time simply just losing the ball. But for the most part, Rizal has taken good care of the ball in this game. That's only their 9th turnover as a team.
Meanwhile, Serrano once again inside, 13 big points. On the other side, JB Lim not wasting any time, but settles and relaxes. They reset the offense. JB Lim going to work. The bump, drops it. Great find, basket and one for JB Discutido.
JB Lim creating something out of nothing on that instance, putting the moves on his defender, and the help defense just a tad late there for that pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play.
So a JB connection right there. JB Lim and JB Discotido.
And good recognition as well by Discotido, seeing as Lim was attacking the basket. He didn't simply wait around the perimeter for a kick out. He made himself available by cutting through the basket. And of course, when you have a point guard as unselfish as Lim and some of the other point guards of Rizal as well, all you have to do is try and get open, and more often than not, your point guard will find you.
Despi at the left side. The Tumalim, the ghost screen, but he'll lose the basketball. And this time, the red shirts, another chance at the break. Discotido settles outside. Lim, a couple of moves, nowhere to go. Baraka for three. Won't connect.
That's a good shot by Baraka. That was an open look, and you can't fault him for taking that. Just a little strong on that attempt.
And Hukom able to draw a foul in transition. 2 freebies coming up for the Benil Blazer. Tried to zig and zag his way to the cup, but didn't work. So far, it's 3 points only for Matthew Hukom. I believe that was the first basket of this game. But he does have 2 rebounds and 2 dimes. And he'll go 0 out of 2. Not the best time really to start missing freebies as your opponent trying to catch up on you. And not to mention a turnover with the same guy, Matthew Hukom.
That's another miscue there. Hukom not catching that ball first before trying to make a decision on what he wanted to do. No? Just a mental lapse on his part. Immediately apologizing to his bench.
JB Lim thought about the 3. Carl Flores has it at the right side. Hands it off, or try to hand it off. Still with him. Flores, tough shot, go for him. Hits it in front of Datumanim. And just like that, it's a 2-point lead only for the Alpha Giants as Joshua De Leon is back in the game. Serrano asking for it. He's up against Kenji Tan. Serrano, nowhere to go outside dish. Despi for 3. Yes, sir!
Despi only needing a sliver of space from his defender to get himself open for that 3-pointer.
Discotido inside, going to work. That won't be enough. 5-point gap. Thanks to Dylan Despi's 3-point bomb. So QC always having an answer to everything Rizal is throwing at them. So far, Despi with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 dimes in this game. An overall performance for the guard.
Well, we saw on our screens there Kenji Tan taking a breather in favor of Nathaniel Caldit.
Datumanim catches it up top. He'll attack. Not that time off the window, but they'll get it back to Despi. But this time, JB Lim intercepts the passing lanes. And Lim tried that behind the back pass. That was a good one, but a foul initially was called on Joshua De Leon.
Could have been a highlight there, but that was a good foul given up, not a shooting foul. So Rizal will have to set up their half-court play here.
That's a bad setup. That's stolen by Despi, picked up by Jashley De Leon, and he finishes in transition.
De Leon using those long strides and that athleticism, take it over the defense.
Dipsy-doo for JB Lim. Too small, he says.
Making up for that turnover earlier and taking contact in mid-air, still able to finish.
Meanwhile, Datumanim able to answer back with his own version of a 2-pointer.
Both teams going basket for basket, but if you're Rizal, you have to string together a consecutive stop, seeing as you're still down by 7.
So far, it's 9 points for JB Lim, but this time Baraka entering that party. 4 points so far for number 20. De Leon to Despi. QC, what will they do? Datumanim, another mid-range jumper, but that won't work for him. JB Lim looking to create again. Finds Flores inside, the fake. Great find, Caldit will finish.
Unselfish play there from Flores. Made the initial defender blow by him, and once the help was there, all he needed to do was drop it off to his teammate.
Meanwhile, Datumanim to the left side. Joshua De Leon, baseline attack, reverse. That's good for the little guy.
Tough basket there from De Leon amongst the trees. No fear whatsoever.
Still a 5-point lead. Both teams just head. JB Lim, half spin, continues to complete the spin. Another spin inside the discotido, blocked by Datumalim. De Leon rushing, drops it. Another De Leon. The De Leon connection is alive and well.
And De Leon likes that mid-range jumper. Earlier in the first half, he hit 3 mid-range jumpers towards the latter part of the second quarter. This time, still hitting from that short corner baseline jumper.
And JB Lim deciding to reset the offense. Lim, high pickup move, drops it. Caldit, fade away. And Despi getting too close, getting called for that foul. And 2 freebies will be awarded to Nathaniel Caldit.
That's right. Despi getting too close for comfort on that shot attempt. You just want to put your hand up when you're defending a jump shooter. You don't want to get too close. Of course, you want to give them enough space to land as well. And even though there's minimal contact, that's enough for the referees to blow their whistle and send Caldit to the free throw line, where he converts on that first free throw.
6-point lead now. Caldit has 3 points in this game, along with 2 rebounds. He'll get his own miss. Reverse lay-in. Oh, a 3-point play for Nathaniel Caldit. How do you like that one? And with that, Coach Franco Atienza, no choice but to call a Nature Spring a timeout as the defense was sleeping during that sequence. But they still have a 4-point lead. Another look at this Nathaniel Caldit reverse 3-point play. Missing the freebie, getting it back. 2 more points for him. And with that, we'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. Over 2 minutes remaining in our third chapter. It's a 4-point gap, still in favor of Quezon City, but make no mistake, the Rizal Switch Fiber are here to fight. Rans Muyuela will be the one this time to bring down the basketball. Enson Cirano. Inside find, Pineda, back to Cirano. At the post against Caldit, Cirano trying to go to work, sends it out. Muyuela, the ghost screen from Cirano. And Muyuela not that time, but possession will stay with QC. Great defense from Rizal, forcing a shot clock violation. And yet another turnover for Quezon City. Baliling back in the game. Looking to provide that spark finally for Rizal. Jovel Baliling, outside dish, unselfish pass. That time's no good, but Antonio cleans up Caldit's miss.
Antonio has quietly been effective in today's ball game. Earlier, recipient of numerous passes from JB Lim, which he was able to convert. This time, simply going up for that putback once he got that offensive rebound. No nonsense guy here.
Pineda up top, Muyuela, what fired for a 3. He won't connect. And a foul underneath is called. So it looks like possession will stay with the QC Alpha Giants. 1 minute remaining in our third chapter. Jashley De Leon triggers the inbound, finds Cirano. Cirano inside, going to work, not that time. Great interior defense. But QC able to recover. Hugo, what a pass and what a find to the open Jashley De Leon. And just like that, it's back to a 4-point game under 40 seconds remaining. Jovel Baliling against the much younger Rans Muyuela. This time, Stolen by Matthew Hukom. In transition, great find. De Leon. Nowhere to go outside Hukom again. The pick from Pineda. Matthew Hukom almost lost it. Still with him. Outside dish. Inside. The alley-oop. Unable to complete. Shot clock is off. Last 11 seconds.
De Leon was just too deep in that previous possession. Although he was open, he didn't have a good angle to take that shot. I could have opted to go down with the ball and go up again. Instead, as soon as he got that ball in the air, he tried to maneuver his way into making that shot, which he was unable to do. Missed opportunity there. Rizal with a chance to cut this lead down as we head into the fourth quarter.
Last 6 seconds. Baliling able to draw a foul.
That's a good foul by Muyuela. That's the last foul to give for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. And now that they are in the penalty, so they can't afford to foul in this ensuing possession.
Baliling. Last 3 seconds. Jovel Baliling step back. Not that time. And that'll be it for our first 3 periods. 61 to 57. It's still in favor of the QC 8-8 Alpha Giants. As still, they got outscored by Rizal in this period, 18 to 17. But it's still them with the lead, surprisingly. But again, make no mistake, their opponents, the Rizal Switch Fiber, are here to fight and are here to win. At least that's what they'll try to do. Later, we'll see that in the fourth period. But for now, we'll take a break. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Welcome back to the quarterfinals game between Rizal and Quezon City. Communication in terms of defense is what head coach Ruel Buenaventura is looking for the Switch Fibers. Although their Monarch, merong switch, parang hindi daw kasi sila nag-switch in terms of defense. Prior to this game, the team was able to have 2 trainings to plan for this big game. Last year was an almost for their 14 and under division, kaya dito ibabawi ng coaching staff ang tagumpay na gusto nilang makuha. Cho and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And indeed, the Rizal Switch Fiber, a well-trained team, but really unable to just finish and get a championship, at least last year. For this year, in the 21 and under division, they'll have a chance. But that is if they beat QC in this game.
And it really does have to start on the defensive end for this Rizal Switch Fiber team. They've done a good job trading baskets with this Quezon City team, but it's on the defensive end where they have been tested here in this game so far. And they can't afford to trade baskets with this Quezon City team now that we're in the fourth and final quarter. And that's 2 straight possessions now that Quezon City has scored in transition. So speaking of defense, Rizal failing to sprint back and simply put a body in front of the scorers of Quezon City. This time it's Hukom who gets that pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play of the quarter.
So far, Matthew Hukom only having 5 points in this game, a chance to make it 6, along with 3 boards, rather 3 dimes and 2 boards. That is the reason why JB Lim enters the game, perhaps to finally start that spark early in the fourth for Rizal. And Hukom completes the 3-point play, makes it a 9-point lead. Lim burning some rubber. Inside pass finds Remo Ismael. That's a foul, I believe, on QC.
JB Lim once again doing a good job drawing the defense to him. And this time finding Ismael underneath the basket, who was unable to hit that basket. But he will be tested at the free throw line.
So far, 10 points, 11 points for Ismael Remo, along with 3 rebounds. Second one on its way. They'll need these freebies. And they do get it. 2 out of 2 for Remo. And more importantly, just a 7-point lead for QC. Muyuela being pressured by Baliling. the youngster, manning the point guard spot for QC. Hukom has it, the pick from Pineda. Hukom for three. Short, gets it back. Hukom attacks using the left hand. He finishes. It's back to a 9-point lead. Remo desperate, but will reset the offense. Baliling has it. Looking for a teammate. Finds JB Lim. JB Lim. No look pass inside. Flores puts one up. Won't fall for Rizal. Muyuela. De Leon. They try from deep. Not that time. Pineda gets it back. Nowhere to go. Muyuela. He'll fire a three. Still not falling for the Alpha Giants. So 2 minutes passing by in chapter 4, our fourth and final chapter. So take another look on that wrestling match between Ismael Remo and General Baniked. At this time, Rizal winning that sequence. JB Lim hands it off, but leading for three. Still not falling for Javel. But they get it back. Defense sleeping for QC.
Well, that was good hustle by Serrano, but no one else was there from his team to try and get that loose ball. And these 50-50 balls are ultimately going to determine who wins this game and advances to the next round.
Indeed, that's why they call them the game changers, the difference makers, as it's still, or rather it's back to a 7-point game. Both teams just going back and forth. Fordy to shoot. De Leon will trigger the inbound. Finds Serrano inside. Serrano puts one up. That's good.
I also like to credit half of that basket to Muyuela, who gave a really good screen to open up Serrano on the baseline. Serrano, all he had to do was go up for that ball, for that shot.
Meanwhile, corner pass, Baliling for three. Gets fouled on the act of shooting again. So just like earlier, he'll be shooting 3 freebies.
And Muyuela getting too close for comfort that time on that closeout. And Baliling was moving forward as he took that shot, but that is his natural shooting motion. So if you're Muyuela, you have to be aware of that and give a little more space, as we see here, on that closeout. Got a little too close there. And if Baliling hits these 3 free throws, it'll cut the lead down to 2 possessions. And I think our officials are trying to take another look at that previous play. Of course, we have that landing spot rule. Hopefully, well, it's good na hindi nasaktan si Baliling, but I think they're just trying to see if they will have to call an unsportsmanlike foul or if it will be a regular foul as was initially called on the floor. Of course, in an important game such as this, our officials have to make the right call, and they will have to take numerous looks at that previous play just to make sure that they get it right. And, kita natin yung 3-point attempt ni Baliling in that closeout by Rance Muyuela. There we go. That could be a big development in this ball game. An unsportsmanlike foul called on Rance Muyuela for that closeout on Baliling.
Indeed, a huge development. Again, this is a do-or-die game. This is not any ordinary game. So you don't want to give a lot of chances, even free throws to your opponents, and definitely not to someone like Jovel Baliling, even though has not made a three-pointer this game, which is he's known for doing that, has made free throws. And he was 3 out of 3 a while ago, so let's see if he can repeat that performance. But so far, it's 2 of 2 for him. As 3 minutes passing by in our final chapter. And he misses the last one, nevertheless. It's 2 points for him in that sequence. And if you're Rizal, you'll get all the points you can get whenever and wherever. And again, since it's a sportsmanlike foul, possession will stay with them. Baraka has it against Muyuela. This time it's Kenji Tan. Thought about the pull-up. Ball stolen by Hukom. Matthew Hukom behind the back move. Stolen again by Baraka. Flores, the pull-up. That was too much.
As soon as he left his fingertips, immediately you could tell that that was way left.
Serrano looking for an open teammate. Hukom gets it. Hukom putting on the moves. Hukom to the other side. Jashley De Leon. Good on that mid-range jumper.
I would have been surprised if De Leon missed that shot. No, he's hit almost all of his baskets from mid-range here today. And kumbaga, ilista mo na pag sa mid-range tumira itong si De Leon.
14 points and 4 rebounds for Jashley De Leon. More importantly, a 9-point lead for QC. Meanwhile, Baraka, corner pass. Ismael Rimo, not that time. Tan, offensive board. Loses it. Serrano picks it up. Muyuela, forward dish. De Leon, one more time. Not that time. JB Lim burning some rubber. Kenji Tan. Tatumalim says no ID, no entry. In transition, Serrano fishes for a foul. He draws one, and that's going to be 2 freebies for him. Another look at this block coming from Datumalim. Indeed, the embodiment of an alpha giant. First freebie is good for Edson Serrano off the window. Seems to be his signature shot whenever he takes freebies. It's certainly something he practices for sure.
Yeah, he has been consistent from the free throw line, even with that those awkward attempts, not trying to hit the ball off the glass. Nevertheless, it's a 11-point lead right now for the Alpha Giants. Still a lot of time for Rizal. They don't need to rush things. They just need to execute on offense. But more importantly, as reported by Daphne earlier, they really need to emphasize yung depensa nila.
Meanwhile, crazy shot coming from Carl Flores. And so far again, Rizal fighting for dear life. They're able to cut the lead to just single digits again. Despi, Hukom at the left side against Discotido. Hukom, the pick from Serrano. Hukom outside dish, Datumalim for 3, bang!
That extends the lead now to 12. Quezon City trying to open this game up.
Baraka, outside pass, Flores settles for a shot, won't work for him. Rimo fighting for that rebound, but a foul will be called on QC.
And if I'm not mistaken, Quezon City already in the penalty. Oh, correction rather, that is the 4th team foul for Quezon City. Now they are going to be in the penalty after this.
Discotido triggers the inbound. Stolen by Despi. Great defense from the Alpha Giants, and Goles not disappointing his team. And just like that, Quezon City giving themselves a 14-point lead. As we take another look in this Dylan Despi to 30 Goles transition basket. And no choice for Coach Roel Buenaventura but to call a Nature Spring timeout as they're down by big digits. We'll be back shortly.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. 14-point lead for Quezon City. Under 4 minutes remaining. If you're Rizal, there's no need to panic. There's still ample amount of time, but you have to get things going.
And you're not doing yourselves any favors by taking contested three-pointers such as that early in the shot clock. Not trying to, you don't really need to shoot your way back into this ball game. You just have to execute your half-court offense. And the offense isn't the problem for Rizal. It's their defense. That's the second straight three-pointer now for, I think that's Datumalim.
Indeed, 16 big points for Nurjadin Datumalim. And more importantly, that's a 17-point lead for them. A lot of breathing room for the Alpha Giants. Meanwhile, basket and one for Ismael Rimo. And they'll need more of those if they want to get back into this ball game. Let's take another look at this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move. You won't see any celebration at the side of Rizal. They're aware of their situation.
You could see with their body language that they're exhausted, trying to climb back from numerous deficits in this game already. From the start of this ball game pa lang, they were already down by double digits. Speaking of Rizal, and mahirap talaga maghabol for the rest of this game. And as I mentioned, just in the previous possession, it's their defense that has been the problem for them as Rimo hits another shot.
Rizal continuing to fight, but time is not on their side. Only 3 minutes remaining in our game. Slowly but surely, the Alpha Giants seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Datumalim one more time. Won't connect. Despi getting it back. Trying to put one up again. Draws the foul and 2 more free throws. First one is good. $16-point lead now. Second one is also good for Despi. As we have under 3 minutes remaining in the 4th period. Baraka. Kenji Tan. Discotido. Desperately looking for a shot. He puts one up. Basket and one for JB Discotido. And who knows, this might be a start of something good for Rizal.
Well, if he hits this bonus free throw, the lead will be down to 14 with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in this game. As we see that pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play, that baseline drive, and the and one. But time and again, I'm sounding like a broken record right now, but it's on the defensive end of the floor where Rizal has had the most problems in this game. They haven't had any troubles putting that ball in the basket, but on the other end, no, they're making it easy for Quezon City to put the ball in their basket.
Meanwhile, Rizal gets it back. Tan trying to create something out of nothing. That's a basket again for Rizal.
And that's a good start, forcing a turnover all the way from the other end of the floor and converting it into a basket. Now in a full court press, itong Rizal. We'll see if it's too little too late, but another steal here.
Stolen by Despi, a counter steal for them. But another steal thanks to Discotido. And the last 2 minutes brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. And so far, the Rizal Switch Fiber off to a great run, but they're still down by double digits, 10 to be exact. But nevertheless, that's a good sign for them. Who knows, that might be a sign of good things to come, even miracles. We'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active, for quality sportswear. Wing Bowl, it's like coming home. Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
Back to the action, 14 to shoot for QC. They're still up by 10, a lot of insurance and breathing room. Natumanim hands it off. Despi attacks, sends it out. Hukom for 3. And that is good from deep.
Well, if Rizal is not able to find a miracle here in this fourth quarter, that could be the basket that seals this victory for Quezon City. Granted, we still have a minute and 30 left, but the body language right now of Rizal not looking good as they give up that foul. And they will send Serrano to the free throw line, so chance to extend this lead.
And not only to seal this victory, but to seal the series, as they'll be able to win this do or die match and proceed to our North Division semifinals. So that's gonna be one heck of an achievement for the Alpha Giants. But first one won't fall for Serrano.
That's why it's important to start the game strong. And Rizal getting out into an early double-digit deficit, which made it difficult for them to climb their way out back from.
And the switch fiber still really fighting with the remaining time they have, although again, it's not mathematically impossible, but it is improbable.
Especially that they're sending the better free throw shooters of Quezon City to the line. So pretty much just waiting for the final score here. But Rizal has nothing to be ashamed of. They were down 1-0 early in this series, but they were able to find a way to get that game to win. But here in game 3, they just allowed Quezon City to get off to a hot start, and from there Quezon City never looked back. Rizal threatened to close the gap and take the lead, but Quezon City always seemed to find an answer. And the final remark I guess I could give is that Rizal really has to adjust their defense in the coming seasons, especially seeing as they have a lot of talented players in their lineup, and offense is not the issue for them, but they have to find ways to be able to get consecutive stops as they put another player to the line for Quezon City. This time it will be De Leon.
So this is Joshua De Leon at the line. First one won't go in for him. Nevertheless, Quezon City, safe to say, they're gonna get home, or go home rather, with this W. And speaking of the players of Quezon City, everybody really did their homework. Hukom got 15. Again, not the best game for him actually, but has 15 nevertheless, has 6 assists as well, and 3 rebounds. And for Despi, an all-around performance of 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 dimes. And of course, the man of the hour, Edson Serrano, having 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 dimes. So I'm sure Coach Franco Atienza is more than happy to see his players, at least most of his players, contribute big time. And for Rizal, the scoring really is underwhelming, as Ismael Rimo scoring 16 points, no problem on his part, but no one actually, aside from him, helped on the scoring department. Flores had 10, Lim had 9. I kind of expected Jovel Baliding really to have a breakout game, considering he's been on a slump his past games for the Switch Fiber. And again, considering his caliber, he is an NCAA player, so it's safe to expect things from him. But right now, the Rizal Switch Fiber calling a Nature Spring timeout, and we'll be back for more action. back to the action right here. So Quezon City with a 9-point lead. Although it's trimmed down to single digits, there's only 27 seconds left in our game. So again, Rizal will have to pull off a miracle. Baraka, no good from downtown. Could have been big.
Well, we're just waiting for the final score now. Both teams in a penalty, and the result repeatedly fouling and putting Quezon City to the free throw line. And this time it will be Hukom who will have a chance to add to his point total. Also had a decent game here today, really contributing to the cause of his squad. It's been a total team effort for the 828 Alpha Giants here, and Coach Mike should be happy with the way that his boys have answered from their previous loss. And Quezon City didn't fall into that trap that they were mentioning earlier about being complacent. No, they had a lead early, but they never gave that lead up from the game from the moment this game started.
Five seconds remaining. And there you have it. Game 3 and the series belongs to the Quezon City 828 Alpha Giants, and they'll be advancing to our North Division semi-finals. So that's something to tune in on. But if your results switch fiber again, still props to these guys for not giving up, for putting one heck of a fight. Of course, for the fans, it's a win-win situation. Thank you very much to the Team Rizal. But unfortunately, that's the end of their journey for the inaugural season of our Junior MPBL D-League. Again, our final score, 90-81. Congratulations to our Quezon City 828 Alpha Giants. Of course, the Coach Franco Atienza and company. Stay tuned for our press conference after this one, as Daphne will interview Coach Franco and the best player of the game to be revealed later on. But for now, that's it, and we'll be back for more action. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod. Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to, klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah. Gabay at pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle. Believe in your hustle. Special thanks to Tropang Villar for hosting today's games. And to Isa Botanica, Green Stevia, and GX International. Maraming salamat.